I love it. And the next item up for bids this evening is also going to be pretty cool, too. So, Dr. Valesky, you want to introduce that one, too?
Okay. We have Mrs. Ruth Chang, who will deliver a presentation on the World Language Program.
You going to be throwing any trash balls or anything?
No, sorry.
But you all know Mrs.
But I wanted to
Chang's
thank,
energy.
before these students leave, I want to thank them. I know that that kind of a lesson begins before the bell
No, they
rings.
should hear this.
The bell has not even rung, and they have begun their class, right?
Yes.
I bet that's right. I bet that's true. Thank you very much. That was awesome.
Dr. Chang, we'll give them a minute.
Yes,
I think, looks like they're
absolutely.
going to do some more homework. That's my guess. We'll give them just a minute. Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye. Good night.
All right, Dr. Chang.
My name is Ruth Chang. I'm the supervisor of world languages in ESL. And I'd also like to thank the board members. We are a nationally recognized district, and we need your leadership. So thank you in advance for those of you who are new to the board. And thank you for your continued work and excellence for our public school system. I also want to add to the Pride Committee, last May, they sponsored an Italian family extravaganza, which was a lot of fun. So thank you. I'm here tonight to give you some updates for the World Language and ESL program. What is our role in the World Language Department? Our role is to offer sequential instruction to enable our students to reach the highest possible levels of language proficiency. We foster our students' understanding of cultural differences. We prepare our students to engage as active citizens in a global society. And we find ways for our students to use technology so they can collaborate, create, and communicate globally. What are our intentions of the World Language Department? All students study world language and culture. Each individual student creates an e-portfolio so to reflect on his or her own progress. Students sustain the longest possible sequence of study to ensure a high level of language and cultural proficiency. And we also want our students to strive to attain the New Jersey Seal of Biliteracy. What is the New Jersey Seal of Biliteracy? The New Jersey Department of Education awards this distinction to biliterate seniors who have proven through testing that they can read, write, speak, and understand at the intermediate mid-proficiency level. At the intermediate mid-proficiency, someone can get a job as a receptionist, cashier, firefighter, tour guide, sales clerk. A long sequence of study is required to reach this level. This year, over 80 students have earned this distinction. It's already on their high school transcripts. The colleges already see it. I want to talk a little bit about the study of world languages. For the first 3 years, the students are parrots. They're imitating, they're repeating memorized chunks of vocabulary. For 3 years, they're really just mimicking us, the teacher. The year 4, 5, and 6, they become a survivor. That's when they start to create their own sentences with lots of grammar mistakes. And they build the vocabulary over year after year, more topics, more themes. And then by the 7th year, they become that storyteller. They can use present, past, future, and they can really have an in-depth conversation. But it takes time to learn a language. In each of our classrooms, I want the teachers to have posted what are the proficiency levels. The focus is on what the students can do with language. So what's new in our program this year? At the high school, all students in 5 honors, 6 honors, AP Language and Culture, and AP Literature can earn Middlesex County College credit. They have that option. And we're also very excited to share with you the elementary Spanish grades 4 and 5. Go ahead there. Could you click? These are the students in Bound.
Tardes, buenas tardes, ¿cómo estás?
That's Paco.
Muy bien, gracias, muy bien, gracias. Vamos a empezar, vamos a empezar. Perfecto, ¿y el chico?
Paco has a whole family. We're very excited that technology has provided us a system called OnCourse. The World Language Department finds this critical. The teachers use this to house their instructional materials and authentic resources. This is important for the teachers to have access, and our students benefit. Next year, pending enrollment and budget approval, we are prepared to offer the following new courses: Mandarin 1 and 2, Italian AP, German 6 honors, and Germany in the 21st century honors. In our ESL program, we're very excited that this year we were able to open up an ESL program at Chittick School. This allows the students in that neighborhood to go to school in their neighborhood. As Dr. Valesky mentioned in his report earlier, we have our ESL literacy nights. We have 4 a year. We've had 2 so far. It's a great time for our English language learners, their parents, to come together with their teachers and learn. How do you learn English? So world languages, it's all about communicating. When you learn a language, you can interpret something. You can read it. You can hear it. You can speak with someone. And you can present something. That's what we do in the world language classroom. So here are a very few short snapshots of those types of communication. So here, this is at a classroom door before the bell has rung. The student is talking in Spanish. The students are asking and answering questions to each other. The teacher's inside. The students have already begun the class. Here, prior to the photo, the students were accessing authentic materials on the Chromebooks. But then the camera came in and they got excited. So they stopped interpreting. Here are our ESL students. They're presenting the life cycle of a tadpole. So cute. Here are our Spanish students at the elementary level. They just finished their Olympic championship, and they're presenting their memorized language, their name, their country of origin, their favorite sport, and how they're feeling to be an Olympic champion. And of course, you've got to have fun in a world language classroom. Go back to the first slide. Right. So you've got to dance, have some music, learn a little salsa. Thank you. Okay. Merci. Gracias. Danke. Grazie. And maybe xie for next year. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Chang.
Do you have any questions?
Mrs.
Yes.
Becker?
I just wanted to comment, as is immediately apparent, the enthusiasm and passion that the staff has for teaching the world languages is readily evidenced by their supervisor. Your enthusiasm and commitment to the world language program is so wonderful, and you see it in all your staff. When we were visiting the classrooms, the teachers were so engaged and enthusiastic about what they were doing, and that's always half the battle with the kids. So
Thank
I
you.
wanted to give a shout out to your staff for the
Thank you.
terrific job they're doing.
Yes, thank you to the board members that came to visit us. It was great for you to see the classes, what's happening. Thank you.
Mrs. Shaw?
Do we have any idea of the number of students who continue with a foreign language or a world language, beyond the 3rd year, which is when they, according to your
Right.
explanation, they really begin to have a better understanding and are no longer just mimicking their instructor?
Right. So we start in 6th grade, in average, 6th grade. So 6th, 7th, and 8th, they all take it. And then in high school, we are required 2 years, so 9th and 10th grade. So that's at least 5 years right there. They have a minimum of 5 years. And I know that many colleges want a higher sequence, a longer sequence, so we really push that and support that at the high school. I can find out for you. Yeah.
What you've told me is
We have,
exceptional.
we have,
You know, I mean, I'm thinking back to, years ago when students used to stop the study of a world language so that they could fit other electives into their schedule. And there was no expectation that they would have it every year throughout, from sixth grade up until 2 years of high school.
right, we want to have, at the high school level, we offer Spanish for medical professions, French for business honors, Spanish for business honors, Germany in the 21st century. We're offering a lot of courses to keep those students, to retain them, and of course, all the AP language classes.
Follow up to that, Ruth, with the addition of these German classes, we now have honors and AP in every language?
Yes, and also with the new Italian AP class. We'll have AP in all 4
We
languages.
have AP in all
Yep,
languages.
that's right. And actually, for all 4 languages, we have an AP track and we'll have an honors track. So students, if don't want AP, there's still classes that they can take up to and including senior year.
And do we find, I don't know if you'll be able to answer this question or if it's a question for guidance, so many, particularly the liberal arts colleges, still have a foreign language requirement. Are we finding that our kids, if they're continuing with one language all the way through, culminating in an AP or honors class, are able to satisfy their college?
I would need to
higher
reach out to a
education level?
counselor to find that out.
Yeah, that's more of a question of guidance. I'd be curious if we have any sense if our program extending through such an advanced phase
Yes.
is helping our kids satisfy that language requirement.
Can I just add something to that? What I want the public to know is that we teach language starting at a young age up through 12th grade, but they shouldn't stop there. They
Right.
should continue beyond that.
Of course.
In all reality, they
Right,
should
I would-
continue into college.
I didn't mean to say that the goal is to avoid taking a world language class at the college level. Of course, the children should do everything they can to extend their world language studies.
But this way, they can start with a more advanced class.
Yes,
Correct. There you
Mr.
go.
Simmons.
Isn't that what you
thank-
meant to say?
I meant to say, yes, of course. Thank you. I'll
Mrs.
just
Lax-
resign now.
Mrs. Lax.
Well, actually, it's very interesting because the seniors that we saw, it was such an amazing experience to see. They were having conversations, and even you can see their personalities were coming through in another language, where they
Right.
would hear something, they would process it, and they were still retaining what I saw as their own personality traits, but in a completely foreign language.
By the time they're in that age, they're fluent by then, and that's not an accident.
Was it the
Yeah.
5?
Yes, you saw French 5 honors and Italian 5 honors.
So when I saw, actually, I was the fortunate one that got to see all the way from the elementary students at Lawrenceburg that I went with you to see.
Right.
And what was amazing is even at that level, the teacher had them speaking in Spanish. It was
Right.
very, very lower level, obviously, and introductory. And a couple of years, I'm a huge fan of yours, because a few years ago, before we were able to bring back world language at the elementary level, we had the after-school program.
Right.
For a little bit at the elementary level. And
Right.
you came to community programs and you
Right.
presented to us. And it's amazing to see how it progresses. And I'm actually anxious to see, especially for these kids that are taking Spanish, when they get to the high school level, now that they'll have had 2 years before
Right.
they even come in.
That's
But I
right.
will say this, so for Hammersholt, I was not surprised to see the high schoolers as fluent as they were, and after how many years. But what I thought was very impressive was seeing 6th graders and 7th graders at the Hammersholt level, that was their first exposure, some of them first and second year exposure, and the fact that these conversations were completely in French or Spanish or German.
Right.
So that was, and that really is, Vicki, you're right, a testament to the staff, but I'm not surprised.
Thanks,
because
Lori.
You've done a phenomenal job. so thank you.
And we mentioned 4 languages, but I think we have a 5th now that's starting. We're going to
Yes, we're proposing Mandarin.
Yeah,
um,
looks like
pending
we'll have
budget
that.
approval.
Yeah, that would be great. I can see that happening.
It's
That's
different
gonna
than
be
the way we
awesome.
learn languages.
Yeah.
So the Mandarin would
different.
start being offered in 6th grade?
8th grade.
8th grade. Okay, I was off by 2 years.
It's okay.
So we'd start it in 8th grade.
Right.
Obviously, as the kids, those classes go on, we would add,
Yes, that's correct.
but are we also thinking about going the opposite way and maybe starting that earlier too? Depending upon the success
We'll
of-
consider it.
We're going in the right direction.
Okay,
Seeing some
thanks.
new classes, so
Awesome.
that's great.
Thank you, Ruth.
Thank you very
Dr.
much.
Chang.
Thank you for all
And
your
Debbie.
Thanks.
And Debbie.
Thanks for this here.
All right.